Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel on Advanced Excel. Now today's video is extension of my earlier video on the same subject where we saw how we can sum up last n rows using offset and index, and where we also saw how we can use offset and index to get those same rows displayed. Okay, so in today's video we are going to see these four things. First is how we can display last n rows using Vlookup. Now I believe that you are well versed with the data, those of you who have seen it. So using Vlookup we want to display last n rows. Okay, now for so far as Vlookup is concerned, we know that there are three criterias or three conditions with which we can use Vlookup. First is the table array, then another is the lookup value, and last is the column index number. Okay, so we already have this table array from A3 to B22. For lookup value I'm going to use rows function, so is equal to rows. Now this is what rows function does. It returns the number of rows in the reference or array. Now whenever you are using rows or columns function, you can select any reference or rows. Okay, it need not necessarily this data or any other data. You can just simply select blank rows also. So is equal to rows, and I'm selecting I1 to I20. Okay, I'll hit F4, complete parenthesis, enter, and I'm removing this dollar sign to make that range expandable. So 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm selecting this whole range minus D3, which I'll freeze, and plus 1, and control enter. So this is what is the lookup value for the purpose of Vlookup. And now again I am selecting this whole thing and pressing F2, and I will prefix this with Vlookup tab. Now lookup value is taken care by rows. I will go to the end of this function. My table array is going to be this, which I will freeze because we are going to copy it down, and my column index number is going to be 2 because it's this B column where my values are lying, and I will complete parenthesis without giving that 0 for exact match or 1 for approximate match, and I am pressing Control Enter, and here it is. Now you must have observed that I have deliberately avoided giving that 0 for exact match or 1 for approximate match, because Vlookup has been designed in such a way that whenever a user skips that 0 and 1, it is supposed to bring out the approximate match. Okay, so you can very well skip that thing here, and if you can see our table array is also has all the records which are unique, so you can simply skip that thing and you will get that required result. So you can display this last n rows with using Vlookup. I am pressing Ctrl 5, strike out. Next is how we can highlight first n rows in a column using conditional formatting, and this is absolutely easy. I'll say is equal to, my serial numbers are in column A. I'll hit F4 3 times to lock the column, but keep the rows to scroll, and I'll say how many of you are less than or equal to value I have mentioned in D3, which I'll freeze. So friends, now I want all of you to bear in mind these two things. Whenever you are mentioning upper limit in your formula, then you have to use less than or equal to, and whenever you are updating a lower limit into your formula, then you have to use greater than or equal to. So in this case we want all the rows which are up to 5, so less than or equal to 5, so I am using less than or equal to, and Control Enter. I am selecting this criteria, Control C, escape. I select the range where I want conditional formatting to apply, and the shortcut for conditional formatting is Alt H L N. I am using keyboard to come to that last option. Use formula to determine which cell to format. Then I'll say Auto to format cells where the formula is true. I'll press Ctrl V, and let's choose the format. Font style is bold, and I'll fill this color. Okay, and okay, and here it is. So you can format first 5 rows up to certain number. So in this case it is 5. If I give 6, it will highlight 6 rows. I am restoring it to 5. So this is done. Then next challenge is how we can sum up last n rows using sum product. So here is equal to sum product tab. I am using function wizard, and for that I am pressing Ctrl A on keyboard. My criteria will be how many of you are less than or equal to count this minus plus 1, and I have said that whenever you are using this less than or equal to or any comparatives, then you have to be very sure that these comparatives are put inside the parenthesis. So I am coming to this count and surrounding that count with brackets, and I am coming to the beginning of this particular criteria, prefixing it with double negative, so that this false and trues gets converted into ones and zeros, and here it is. And my array 2, that is my sum range. My sum range is this simple. I think there is something wrong, but let me just okay, so it is giving me there is some wrong thing about this. Okay, in this here I have given less than or equal to, it has to be greater than or equal to, and Control Enter. Here it is. Okay, and lastly SUMIF. In SUMIF also is equal to SUMIF. I'll use the same function wizard. Control A. Range is going to be this. My criteria, which will be inside this quotation marks, greater than or equal to count minus plus 1, and you should not forget closing this quotation marks and put and to join your criteria, and my sum range is going to be this 787. Okay. So friends, this is how we can use sum product and SUMIF both to have a sum of last n numbers. Now friends, in this video I am giving a link of this Excel file in the description box, so that you can now download it and practice upon. And so this brings me to the end of the video. If you have liked this video, please give me thumbs up. Also leave comment if you know any other way of achieving the same result, and also hit that bell icon so that you are alerted about my upcoming videos. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.